Music is the soundtrack to your life.
Yeah.
One of my great experiences was I had a really good friend who was the chairman of Gaylord in Nashville, and they own the Grand Ole Opry. And he had his 60th birthday party on stage at the Grand Ole Opry. Now, I'm from Memphis. You'd think I'd know this since it was Nashville. I didn't realize it was a live radio show.
Yeah.
I just thought people came and played, and it was a concert, but it's a live radio show. And these country artists have mailboxes in the back where they get mail from fans. And so Minnie Pearl and these people are walking by, and Vince Gill, and they're saying hi to my friend who's the chairman of Gaylord, but the quality of the music and the sound, and I'm not a country music guy, but it was a really moving experience. So I understand why music has been such and then being partner in B.B. King's Blues Club, which was extraordinary. Yeah. Riley B. King, Beale Street Blues Boy. I don't know how much you know about Memphis, but Beale Street had been in a state of decline. It was not a place that you went. And
same with Graceland.
And we weren't. Graceland's the number one tourist attraction in the state of Tennessee. Beale Street's number 2.
Wow.
But Beale Street was not popular at that time. And when we opened the B.B. King's Blues Club on Beale Street, it became an anchor that pulled other businesses to Beale Street. So I'm not sure that we were smart enough to understand that was going to happen. We just saw this opportunity to back B.B. King and have fun and have a club on Beale Street. But
some other time, I want to hear all the stories, because that grew into was it company owned or franchised?
So there were 5 of us that started it, and a couple of the partners decided they wanted to expand into Los Angeles. And they did, into Universal Studios, which I thought was a terrible idea, because I had kids that were Universal Studio age. They would have no idea who B.B. King was, and they'd have to pass Hard Rock Cafe and Planet Hollywood to go back there. And people wouldn't come at night from their neighborhood community to come down to the club. So I exited. It was a business decision I thought was going to be catastrophic. It proved to be that. So it ultimately tanked the clubs. It went through a series of restructurings and reorganizations, and sort of like Sony Records or RCA, it ended up getting back to the original ownership group, not me, the original ownership group without me at the end. But BB was a great musician, and he had a much bigger audience in Europe than he did in the United States, and he could command literally 10 times the fee to play a venue in Europe than he could to play a venue in the U.S.
Yeah.
He hated that because he hated to fly. When he was on the ground someplace, he had a bus that would take him around to all the places, because he was
the John Madden of music.
Yeah, he was the John Madden of music, but he was a compelling figure to come out of Indianola, Mississippi, and up to Beale Street. So it was fun. It ended up being one of those investments where I was rewarded for the investment, but I think the psychic reward was greater than the financial reward.
For sure. Yeah. And the proximity to watching that greatness.
I went to see him. I was in Lake Tahoe on a ski trip, and he was playing at one of the casinos, and I went down there with some buddies, and after the concert was over, I went backstage, and I had a card that said, Lane Carrick, owner, B.B. King's Blues Club, and I handed it to the guy, and I said, I'd like to say hi to Mr. King if he's willing to give me an audience. And so he brought me back in, and he said, I don't remember your name, but you're the money man. And I said, I like that. I think that'll
Let's go with that.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Let's just go with the money man.